The Newport Heritage Preservation Commission received a grant to explore and uncover the Johnson property in Newport.
Historically, this site was occupied by William Brown, one of the earliest settlers in Minnesota, for that matter, but came here in 1841 to work at the Kaposha Indian Mission as a carpenter. And we know that that fall he married one of the Indian teachers, and he set up a homestead here in Newport.
William Brown was known to move many times during his stay in Newport.
There's always been a certain amount of curiosity as to where did he actually live. And what makes Mr. Brown a little more interesting than some of the other pioneers is that he kept a diary. And so we know his day-to-day activities in the 1840s. He was also a fairly prominent individual, and so there's a fair amount of documentation about him.
Mr. Johnson was known as the direct descendant of William Brown.
And so he lived here his whole life, and his family has owned this particular piece of ground since at least the time of the Civil War. But Mr. Johnson, who was a professional archaeologist, he would tell me that he was sure that his house incorporated part of William Brown's log house. And in Brown's diary, he continuously refers to various houses he's building for himself.
So today, the volunteers in the Heritage Preservation Commission came out to uncover if truly William Brown lived on this property.
We're looking for what the Johnsons always claimed were log structural elements that, well, they actually might be sawn timbers. This is just like any other archaeology site. It's one little step at a time. We'll be collecting samples of all of the older construction materials. We found some old horsehair plaster that was no longer attached to the wall. It had fallen in below the floor, actually. We haven't found any nails that we can date yet, but we have found some bricks. We're really good at dating when brick is manufactured nowadays. And we haven't found anything definitively from the 1840s yet.
They'll be doing work on and off again for a year, depending on what they find.
It is an interesting kind of activity, and this is a safe, easy to access site. And when we're all done is when it's really becomes, I think, interesting. And that's when we find out what it is we found and try to make a story out of it. And we're going to have a story. I'm just not sure exactly what kind of story it's going to be yet.